Well, we will get started. Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for our webinar. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come and spend some time with us. So my name is Brittany here from Lakehead University, of course. So today we are going to be talking to you all about the Faculty of Business Administration at Lakehead University. Just a few kind of housekeeping things before we get started. Just note that all participants, except for myself and the other panelists, have been muted. If you do have any questions at any point in time, please use the Q&A feature that's on the bar at the bottom of the screen through the Zoom webinar. You can ask any questions, we can answer those for you. There's also a chat feature, but we encourage you to use the Q&A box. Also keep in mind that this webinar, as far as more of the admission requirements go, are geared more towards direct from high school, Ontario high school students, but we can most certainly help you out with any questions if you're coming from a different academic background as well. And today we are focusing on the undergrad business programs at Lakehead, so just keep that in mind when we are going through our different elements of the program. Also, please note that we are recording this session, so if you do want to go back later and review it, share it with your friends, you have that as an option as well. And finally, we are working from home right now, so there might be some unexpected noises in the background, maybe some dogs jumping around, so just keep that in mind as we're going through the webinar today. So my name, again, is Brittany Tavachak. I'm a recruitment admissions advisor at Lakehead University. I'm a graduate of the HBCom program. I did a major in marketing, a minor in human resources. I loved my time at Lakehead. I loved the program. I'm very thankful and grateful for all the experiences I got to have throughout the program. Definitely by far my favorite faculty, and I know that I'm very biased, but I absolutely love my experiences at the university. I'll pass it off to my colleague Sarah to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Sarah. I'm also an undergrad recruitment advisor with Lakehead University. I'm out of Thunder Bay campus, born and raised here in Thunder Bay, and I'm a recent alumni from the HBCom program with a major in human resources. So I'm so excited to talk to you about business and answer any questions you may have from a student's perspective from the business program. So now I'll pass it off to David Richards, and he'll introduce himself.
Hi, thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Brittany. My name is David Richards. I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Business Administration. I've actually been at Lakehead for 12 years. I've been the Dean for just over a year, and I was a faculty member here in Thunder Bay. And now that I'm the Dean of both campuses, Thunder Bay and Aurelia, and in non-COVID times, I spend a little bit of time at both campuses each month. But as Brittany had mentioned, we're all working from home right now. So I am very pleased to be here today to tell you a little bit about the Faculty of Business Administration, and also as always, pleased to have an opportunity to spend some time with our alum as well. So I'm glad to be here today. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. So again, the topic of today's webinar is all about business at Lakehead University. I'm going to pass it off to Sarah to provide you with some information about Lakehead in general.
Thanks, Brittany. So before we learn more about our amazing business program, I just want to talk on a few interesting things about Lakehead and what really makes us stand out from any other universities. So we are in Canada's top 10 universities. This is primarily in undergrad studies. And for 5 years in a row, we have been ranked Canada's #1 undergraduate research university. So this means that we do offer many research opportunities to our undergrad students. Normally, you'll see research that is reserved for students who are in their master's or PhD programs at most schools. However, at Lakehead, right in your first year, you'll be able to do some research and get some hands-on learning experiences. This is something that we're very proud of. We do also have about 8,500 students from over 80 different countries. So our school population is a multicultural school population. We have one-of-a-kind programs, but of course today we'll be focusing on our business program. And lastly, my favorite, 90% of our classes have fewer than 60 students. So this means that your professors will know you by your first names and not just a number on a piece of paper. So you'll make those personal one-on-one connections with professors, even your classmates. And with having those small class sizes, you're really able to build a community of learners. You're able to network and have people that you can rely on during your studies at Lakehead. That's something that's really important. With that being said, after you graduate, just 2 years after, 96.7% of our students are employed. So we know students are getting a high quality education and are getting jobs directly out of university. I'm sure that's something very important because a lot of you probably want to have jobs. So Lakehead does a very good job helping to prepare our students for their future and their future careers. So now I'll pass it off to David to focus on business.
Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, so Sarah, as Sarah had mentioned, one of the things that we really try to do is to prepare our students for those meaningful careers in business, or in whatever area they're interested in participating in. And so we really focus on providing students with experiences that will help them develop the knowledge, skills, and ability to do that, but also to have a really positive experience when they're here in the program. And so what business graduates need to be successful in today's environment, I think this is part of what we try to provide to students. And a big part of that is, of course, those foundations of technical knowledge and skills. So the courses that students take in accounting and human resources, marketing, finance, information systems, and other areas as well, provide them with those essential knowledge and skills that they're able to actually go out and apply in the real world. I think the business world is evolving, and as a result, so is business curriculum and business programs. And beyond just the technical knowledge and skills, we also talk with our students and build their confidence and understanding in other areas like ethics and environmental stewardship, corporate social responsibility. Because what we're really trying to do is to build the leaders of tomorrow. And a lot of our graduates go on to positions of leadership. Many become managers and even senior leaders in organizations. Along with that is the importance of soft skills, and those soft skills are essential in addition to the technical skills. So the ability to manage conflict and to problem solve, the ability to make effective decisions. Managing relationships in the workplace is a really significant responsibility, regardless of the job that you're in. Very few of us, even when we're working at home, work alone. We're constantly interacting with people. So providing or having opportunities for students to practice working with others and working in a team, these are things that are central to the business program. And of course, technology is playing a significant role. And so there are courses specific to the management of technology and using data and business analytics, but we also integrate that in other courses as well. And I think that's a characteristic of the business program, is that things aren't just in silos, that part of what we do is weave the intersections between the different areas in the program. And of course, many of our students go on to start their own business. we have students who graduate and work in the public sector, so work for government or hospitals or other nonprofit organizations. Many of our students go into the public sector as well, and some of them start their own businesses, and whether that be a private enterprise or whether that be using those principles of entrepreneurship and innovation to work within an organization. This is also an important element in the curriculum. And part of our role, or part of how the Faculty of Business sees itself, is a partner in the community, and both within the university but outside of the university. And we see our role as really being a player and a partner with the communities in which we work, and to actually help develop the local economies as well. And I mean, those communities aren't just Thunder Bay and Orillia, but certainly those are the two where we're located, but it really goes beyond that as well. So a couple of things about the faculty itself. We do have accreditation through AACSB, and a lot of people probably have never heard of AACSB. It is the Association for the Advancement of Collegiate Schools of Business, and it is an international accreditation. There are fewer than 5% of business schools in the world who have this accreditation, and our business program in Thunder Bay does have this accreditation. We also are accredited by CPA, the Chartered Professional Accountants, and both of those we're very proud of both of those accreditations. And really what the AACSB accreditation says is that we have met certain standards, and it is a stamp of approval of the high quality program, and that we provide students with a good experience. The CPA accreditation allows our students who are interested in a career in accounting to advance through that accreditation process. And students who graduate from our undergraduate program are exempted from the prep program and the CPA designation. We also have a graduate diploma in accounting, and that also takes students about 2/3 of the way through the PEP program, which after there are two additional modules that students do with CPA, and then they write the exam and they're able to get their designation. So because I mentioned the graduate diploma in accounting, I'll also mention that we have a Master's of Science in Management and a Master's of Business Administration. Those programs as well as college transfer programs. I know we're focused on students coming into first year today, but there are other options. Sarah, Brittany, myself, or our program chairs in the Faculty of Business are happy to talk with anyone about those as well. So Sarah had mentioned that we have a very high percentage of our students who get careers, who get jobs and careers in their chosen field. There are many dots on this screen that illustrate some of the examples of careers that our students may move into. There are many others as well. And I don't think we have a screen large enough to put all the different options on, but if, as I mentioned, many of our graduates go on to leadership positions, as managers, as directors, vice presidents, even CEOs. We have people working in accounting, obviously, in the financial industry as analysts or planners. We have graduates working in human resources, either as human resources generalists or as recruitment specialists or compensation specialists, people working in labor relations. With marketing students, they may go into communications or advertising, public relations. We also have our MIS graduates who work in information technology administration or as working with databases and decision support analysts. And of course, there are other aspects as well. Some of our students have gone on to work for embassies and international organizations. There are many different options. And as I had mentioned earlier, some of our graduates go on to start their own businesses as well. So about the programs themselves, we have two main options in the undergraduate program. We have the Honors Bachelor of Commerce program, which is a 4-year degree. And at each campus, we have different major options. In Aurelia, we have the business administration and global entrepreneurship options. And I'll talk a little bit about co-op later, but there are co-op options at the Aurelia campus. We also have the Bachelor of Administration, which is a 3-year degree. It's a generalist degree. And how the program is structured is that students come into the program into first year into the Honors Bachelor of Commerce program. And then at the end of second year, it's when students decide what their major is going to be. Or some students at that point say, no, you know, I want to come back for 1 more year and get my degree, and they may choose to do the Bachelor of Administration at that point. So during that, for the first 2 years, students take a little bit of everything. So you have the exposure to all of the fields within business before having to select your major. And sometimes students come into the program thinking that they're interested in one thing, and then they take some courses in another area and they discover a new passion, or maybe they decide I'll do a minor or even a double major in 2 areas. So there is no switching costs if in second year you decide that you're interested in another area. So the same principles or process apply at both campuses. So I had talked about what options were in the Aurelia campus. In Thunder Bay, it is an older program. It's been around a longer time, and the campus is a bit larger. So we actually have more majors available at the Thunder Bay campus. There's accounting and finance, human resources, information systems, marketing, international business, business economics, and general management. And in accounting, finance, human resources, information systems, and marketing, there is a co-op option at the Thunder Bay campus. And again, there is the option for the Bachelor of Administration as well. So in the first year of the program, I had said that you take a little bit of everything in the first 2 years. In the first year, there is an introductory management course. There's a course in financial accounting, information systems course, business communications. There are also 2 statistics courses. We call them quantitative analysis, but they're largely focused on statistics. Students take an economics course, and there is also some room for electives, so some non-business courses in first year. For students who either don't have the math requirement, and we'll talk about the admission requirement. There is an optional course that's available, Quantitative Foundations, that students can take instead of one of the electives in first year. Some students also take the course because they want to strengthen their quantitative skills, or they're just interested in that. In the first year of the program, you have to maintain a 60% average as well. And then when we move into second year, we have some more accounting, this time with management accounting, your marketing, operations management, finance, some business communications again, and as well as organizational behavior. In the Thunder Bay campus, we have human resources in the second year. Actually, this is a new change coming into play next year. And we also have entrepreneurship in Aurelia. And those are because there are majors in those areas, and we want students to have some more exposure to those areas before selecting their major. So in the commerce program, in second, third, and fourth year, students need to maintain a 70% average. And that's for the Honors Bachelor of Commerce program. In the Bachelor of Administration, it is the 60% grade point average that needs to be maintained in all 3 years. So I had mentioned earlier about co-op as being an option in some of the programs. And at both of the campuses, it is an option for students to do co-op. Co-op is a paid placement, and typically students would do, well, they may do a short summer co-op placement after second year, but typically students do co-op between third and fourth year. So it does add a year to the program, but it also provides students with an opportunity to have some paid employment in their chosen field. And the co-op placements are, of course, arranged through the co-op office, but also in consultation with faculty advisors. So we make sure that the co-op placement is going to be a meaningful experience. And yes, so for students who do a minimum of 12 months of co-op, they do get the designation on their degree. And I already mentioned, and I apologize, this is exactly what Brittany was talking about. The canines are not cooperating. Yeah, so we do have the options at both campuses. Sorry, I'm just going to step out just for a sec.
I am going to jump ahead to the admissions component. So I'll talk a bit about admission requirements for the business program. So in general, for an Ontario high school student, we're looking for you to have your high school diploma, of course, at least 6th grade 12 URM courses, as well as a 70% average based on your top 6 grade 12 URM level courses. Now, as far as program prerequisites go for business, we do look for 12U English, 1 12U Math, and 4 additional grade 12 URM credits. Now, like David was mentioning about the additional course, if you don't have a 12U math course, you can still come into the program, but there is a prescribed statistics course that you take to make up for that missing credit. I'd say the most beneficial math course would be the data management to get that stats background. With business, as we do look for a 70% average, and it's considered to be open enrollment. So that means that we don't necessarily have to cap the number of students coming in. So that's really good news for you, because that means that as long as you have the courses, as long as you have that 70% average, that you're eligible to receive an offer of admission. And for us, we will start sending out offers of admission as early as December. At that point, typically offers are based on grade 11 grades as well as on grade 12 registration. But then beyond that, we typically do rounds of offers every couple of months. So whenever we actually receive updated grade information from your high school, from your guidance counselors, then we're able to extend offers of admission as we receive those grades. And we do keep in touch with you the entire way through. So if there's some reason that we can't give you an offer of admission, we will explain to you why. And so typically it's either because there's a course missing, or maybe the average isn't high enough, but we do correspond with you to let you know sort of what is happening with your application there. And I will flip back a couple slides here and let our in-house expert, getting ahead of myself here. There we go, continue on.
Thank you, and apologies for that interruption. So in addition to co-op, I did also want to share some information about the Work Integrated Learning Program. This program is part of the RBC Future Launch Initiative, and currently we're in our third year. We did a 2-year pilot, and now the program, we have another 5 years of the program. And the program is designed to help support the development of skills and work readiness for our students. And so all of the things that I talked about at the start about what students need, they have an opportunity to develop these even further through this program. And this program is structured in such a way that there is an option to do a part-time field placement during the school year. So while students are studying, they work roughly a day a week in a placement. Along with that is a mentorship component. So they receive mentorship from someone in their field placement, or sometimes an external mentor as well. And then along with that is a workshop series that focuses on developing some of those soft skills and those foundational skills that are helpful. And there are a couple of options with the placement, sometimes tied to the particular placement, but students can either do a paid placement or do their paid placement for course credit. Yeah, so there are lots of different options, and it's quite a flexible program, and different options for students at different year levels. So, yeah. And so, you know, I think in addition to those sort of formal experiential learning programs like Co-op and the Work Integrated Learning Program, we also try to incorporate experiential learning in the classroom. And there are a number of different ways that this happens in different courses. And one of the ways is to use case studies and case analysis in courses. And so in the different areas, in the different courses and topics, there would be different types of cases, some of which then integrate knowledge from other areas. We also, this is on top of things in classes where students actually get to practice what they'll do in that particular field. So be that in accounting or finance, human resources, where students are actually working on assignments that mirror what you would actually do if you were working in that area. We also have a number of in-class projects that really are done in collaboration with a community partner. And so the students typically work in teams, and those are conducted almost like smaller consulting projects. And so an example might be where students are conducting market research for a company in the field. We've also had for a number of years students in human resources planning have worked with one of the forestry companies to actually do some analysis and to make recommendations around human capital acquisition, or so hiring and attracting the people necessary. Sarah, as a human resources graduate, you probably did that project in the last couple of years.
I did, actually, my last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my favorite project to work on. I really liked that one.
Great. Yeah. And then in the final year of the program, there is a capstone project course, and it is a course that it takes all of the knowledge from different areas, and students work in teams and work to address some real life issue that's facing an organization. And in Thunder Bay for the last few years, we've been working with the city of Thunder Bay, and students have worked in teams that have really addressed issues around the implementation of strategy or addressing some strategic issue within the city of Thunder Bay. And there's a similar course at the Aurelia campus in the final term as well. And then, of course, there are a number of options for students outside of the class, and these are initiatives that are usually student-led with some support from a faculty advisor or from the faculty. And Enactus Lakehead is very active at the Thunder Bay campus, and I'm also very happy to hear that the students in Aurelia are also looking to initiate a club there. And Enactus is a club that uses principles of entrepreneurship and principles from business to work on projects that contribute to community development and have some social good. The Enactus Lakehead Club in Thunder Bay has won an award. The last couple of years, they've actually won some funding from the cooperators because their programs have contributed to mental health and mental health awareness. And the previous year, 2 years ago, because last year it was canceled because of COVID, 2 years ago our club won second place in the regional and national competition. They had a couple of projects around financial literacy that were really well received. Our students also participate in business competitions, and there are large competitions like the Intercollegiate Business Competition that students participate in on different topics or in different disciplines. We also have some discipline-specific case competitions. So in HR, accounting, marketing, and students will compete against teams from other schools. Our students actually do quite well in those competitions. We've won some first and second prizes in the last couple of years. There are also a number of clubs. There's LUAC, which is the accounting club, LUFSA, which is the Finance Student Association. There's an HR club. We also have student associations at both campuses. There is the Business Aurelia Student Society, and in Thunder Bay, FOBSA, which is the Faculty of Business Student Association. Those those clubs organize various events and networking opportunities for students. This year, the Aurelia Student Society has organized an investment challenge, and actually it's open to students at both campuses. So we're quite excited about that. Yeah, and you know, these clubs are optional, obviously, but they're another piece that provides students with an opportunity to develop leadership skills and also to expand the network. I think a big part of what I've certainly heard from our graduates is part of the value of a business education is who you meet while you're doing it. And, you know, the obviously personal connections and the friendships that develop, but also in a professional capacity as well, that you meet people, and that sometimes can open doors for you in ways that you maybe didn't expect. So I always encourage students to get involved.
I absolutely agree with that. I think that it's just so beneficial to get involved. I was a part of different student clubs and I attended different competitions, and I got to meet so many great people that way, people that I still talk to, and that was well over 10 years ago. And so it's incredible those connections that you do make by getting involved. And I will say as well that for me, one of my favorite pieces of the program was doing more of the experiential learning activities. So for us in that capstone project, we had worked with the Thunder Bay Community Auditorium. We did market research with different local companies. And it was just really nice to know that we were doing something that was practical. So you're not just doing a case study for the sake of doing a case study. You're doing something that's actually practical and that you can take with you moving forward as related experience. And so that was something that I really enjoyed about the program. Also, there is a lot of group work within the program as well. And I found that was something that was really helpful to work with people from different backgrounds. Because of course, when you're working in the real world, you're going to be working with people from all different backgrounds and all different areas. And so that was something that I found, you know, helped to contribute to me as a person, both personally as well as professionally as well. Sarah, I don't know if you have any add-ons with that too, as a more recent graduate.
I definitely, what you said totally applies to me as well. My favorite was, David mentioned earlier, the human resource planning project that I did this past year. So we worked with a company in Thunder Bay, and we just got to they had some issues with some of their recruitment ways. So we came up with some recommendations for them, and then we actually got to present them to HR managers of this company. So that was something that we got to take right from what we learned in the class and apply it and present to professionals. So that was probably one of my favorite things about the program. And then, yeah, all the case studies that you get to do, group work, definitely helps for future.
And, you know, some of our students have actually, after completing that fourth year project, have actually been hired by the company. I personally know of a few instances of that. But you know, what also happens, and this is really gratifying, I think, both for the students and for me as a member of the faculty, is that I know of instances where the companies have actually implemented the recommendations that the students have come up with, and that's I think that's really a wonderful thing to know, that we are actually having that sort of direct impact on the community as well. And it also speaks to the high quality of the work that the students are producing, that you know that companies actually value that.
Absolutely. Perfect. All right. So I already spoke about admission requirements. We'll jet past that. And this is bringing our webinar to a sweet little close here, but we do have other events coming up that we would love for you to join us at. We do have webinars weekly, so every Tuesday at 7 o'clock and Wednesday at 4 o'clock, we do host different sessions and webinars about different programs with different staff members, different faculty members, so a great chance to get to know other programs. We do also have an open house coming up on December 9th. We will have registration information available on the website that's listed on the page there. As of right now, we're unable to do in-person campus tours, but we would love for you to do a virtual campus tour. So if you go to lakeheadu.ca/tours, you can do a virtual campus tour of both of our campuses. It's really cool. It lets you walk through campus and get a sense as to what the buildings look like. Just get a better feel for what those campuses do have. We're hoping to be able to hold in-person campus tours sometime soon, but whenever we are able to, we will update the website with campus tour information. But for right now, we're looking at strictly virtual campus tours. And we don't want today to be the last conversation that we have with you. We really want to continue to stay connected. Please follow us on social media. We have all the different social media outlets. Hashtag #MyLakehead. Keep in touch, see what events we have coming up, see what our current and future students are doing. And that being said, we're coming to an end here. And if you have any questions, we're more than happy to answer those for you. Please use the Q&A box there, the Q&A chats, or the chat feature if you have any questions. I didn't see any come through throughout the presentation, so that's good. Hopefully we answered everything that you might need. Nope. Any final words from my panelists?
I just wanted to say thank you everyone for joining us this evening. And thank you, David Richards, for joining us and talking about business.
Great, and thank you. I would also like to reiterate my appreciation for those who came out, and to Sarah and Brittany as well for giving me this opportunity to talk about our programs. Thank you.
Perfect. So I'm going to add an email into the chat box right now. If you ever do have any questions, email recruit@lakeheadu.ca. And we are always more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. And we will answer those within 24 hours. There you have it. Perfect. Well, enjoy the rest of your evenings. Thank you very much for coming once again. And we hope to see you at Lakehead in the fall. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.